Make sure everything... Come on. Alright, make sure everything's working okay. It took a while to get this up. I don't know why. Alright, make sure everything's working okay. It took a while to get this up. Alright, what's going on, guys? And welcome to the new rebuild that I'm doing on the channel, Seattle Seahawks Rebuild. I forgot to put the title, but we're, of course, starting up from the ground. 2023 season, let's get into it. The Seattle Seahawks were actually a very interesting team that I kind of noticed in terms of the overall ratings. 79s, really, for the most part. This defense has some decent talent still there, but our offense, not exactly looking pretty good. And, you know, Geno Smith in real life has found a new home in Seattle, but a 78 overall quarterback, I don't really know if that's really the future of this team or not. Maybe he'll get better, but he could regress. And maybe Drew Lock is the answer, or maybe it's time to look for a different quarterback. I've looked at different, in different rebuilds that I've done. I've looked at what the Seahawks have kind of done, and typically they get a different quarterback in there other than Geno Smith, because 32 years old, 78 overall QB, don't know how much better he's going to get than that. And running back, solid with Kenneth Walker, 87 overall, 75 overall Zach Charbonnet, and DJ Dallas and McIntosh. But overall, running back could be a little bit better. Kenneth Walker will probably be our running back for the majority of this rebuild. And we got a 62 overall fullback in Nick. Now, receiver-wise, we're loaded. Pretty decently loaded. With Tyler Lockett, a good kick returner and receiver. DK Metcalf, beast, 86 overall. Jackson Smith-Njigba, the rookie out of Ohio State. Hopefully he gets a little bit better year by year. Dwayne Eskridge, and we've got guys like Bobo and Young, some young guys. Noah Fant is our starting tight end, but we also have Will Dissly, who is about the same rating as him. So tight end position could be a little bit better. Parkinson is only 69 overall. We have a 79 overall left tackle in Cross, 76 Lewis, 71 Evan Brown, 69 Phil Hayes, and Abram Lucas, 77. Yeah, this offensive line needs some work. I mean, Jason Peters, oldest guy on the team, oldest guy in the league, 40 years old, I believe, more than that. He'll probably retire at the end of this season, so I don't expect him to be here for too much longer, if I'm being brutally honest. We'll keep him for this season. I'm not going to cut him. We're going to keep him here for this season just in case. Dre'Mont Jones, 76 overall defensive end. We got an 82 Leonard Williams, who is pretty solid. We do have a Mario Edwards Jr., 70 overall defensive end. And we got a 77 overall Reed. Left outside linebacker, Mafi. We still have Bobby Wagner, 88 overall, but I don't know how much longer he's going to play. Jordan Brooks, I believe, is entering the last year of his contract, but I'm thinking about keeping him longer and probably letting Bobby Wagner walk if his contract is up this season. We also have a 77 overall Devin Bush. So linebackers, as far as middle linebackers, is looking pretty good. Nwosu, a 77 overall right outside linebacker, so that could use some work. Corners could use some help. It looks like Woolen is injured. Witherspoon, 84 overall. So corners are okay, but we could definitely look for some extra help there. Quandre Diggs, 84 overall. Kobe Bryant, not the Kobe Bryant. And we got an 86 overall Jamal Adams. You know, in real life, the Seahawks have kind of let some of these players walk. Like in real life, Adams, Quandre Diggs, those guys are free agents. But 86 overall strong safety. Jamal Adams may be worth keeping, even though he's not really in the top tier of safeties in the NFL, but he's still pretty solid. We have a 76 Jason Myers and a 79 Michael Dixon. So, you know, decent team, not anything too spectacular with Seattle here for the first year, and I'm not expecting too much in terms of the first year in 2023. So we'll see kind of how things go in the preseason. We'll get through cut days, and we'll see what we can do with the Seattle Seahawks and rebuild them. One of the things that I've noticed about the Seahawks is that typically after the first season and the year after that, Pete Carroll tends to retire. So this may be a situation where we have to replace a coach that has decent credentials, has won a Super Bowl, and we have to find a way to replace him, which could be a challenge in and of itself. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen in terms of replacing the coach, and we may have to make some adjustments there. In the meantime, though, we actually have one new injury. Let's see who's hurt. Hopefully it's not anybody too significant. Abram Lucas, right tackle, forearm fracture. I think he's our backup, so I'm not too worried about him being out for 4 weeks. I'm probably gonna go ahead and sign a right tackle in free agency because I don't think that we have another backup behind him. Let's go to the free agent pool and see if we can get a right tackle as a band-aid for a little bit while Lucas is out. I do believe he's our backup. Him getting hurt in the preseason, not that big of a deal. Dennis Kelly, I'm going to sign him. Scheme fit guy. We're going to bring him in on a 1-year deal. That's fine. Just bringing a guy in as a band-aid backup right tackle. That's all we're looking for. It means cut day got just a little bit more tedious. We got to cut more personnel, but it is what it is. And we lost our first preseason game to the Minnesota Vikings. We're playing Dallas this week in the preseason, so we'll see what happens with this game. We lost once again, so we haven't won a single preseason game yet. We play the Packers on the road for our final preseason game. Let's see if we can get a win in this one. All right. And we have another new injury. Wow. We got trade offers too. Let's see what's cooking. Leonard Williams out for 7 weeks with a torn bicep. Wow. We're getting hit with the injury bug early in this rebuild for the first year. But then again, like as always I say, expectations not super duper high with this team. First of all, let's take a look at trade offers. We have offers for Julian Love, who is our backup safety, because Jamal Adams is our starter. Let's see. He's an 83 overall strong safety. Let's see if we have any offers for him. Are any of these teams offering a quarterback? No. Okay. Well, let's see here. Well, we could get Jamal Williams, backup running back. You could get Atwell. You could get another receiver to help in Myers, but we're pretty decent at receiver. None of these offers really appeal to me that much. I don't think there's really anything too spectacular about it. I think I'll probably bypass that for now, at least. If there's other offers that come for Love, we'll see. It is Love, right? Julian Love. Okay, I was about to say Jordan Love. I was like, that's a quarterback for the Packers. I'm not doing that. All right, well, we got to cut 9 players, so let's go ahead and get down to business for cut days. Got a lot of decisions to make here for our personnel. And we only have 2 quarterbacks. I probably should sign a third guy, but, we don't have the room for that, really, if I'm being completely honest. Kenny McIntosh, we could put on practice, but I worry about losing him if we do something like that. Wide receivers. We got a bunch of receivers. I'm going to put Darik Young on practice squad. That may be a risk. We might lose him, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to cut our long snapper. Brady, Russell, tight end. I'm going to move him to practice squad. I could have cut him, but, he may... but I didn't want to do that. Jake, player doesn't meet our standards. Okay. O'Neal, I want to move him to practice squad, but Curran can stay active. So we have 2 left tackles, we have 2 left guards, we have 2 centers. Right guards, we have 2. Right tackles, we have 3. Okay, so we can afford to do something here. Jason Peters, right now is our starter because, of course, we signed Dennis Kelly as a Band-Aid. But then again, I guess having Peters in there is going to be okay, but we needed a backup guy to fill in the void, if you will. Stone is a young guy, so he's going to come back. We know that Jason Peters is not going to be here long term. Young, at Hall, got a bunch of middle linebackers. All right, Patrick O'Connell, we're just going to straight up cut him. I don't even worry about adding practice squad. 57 overall, that's not good. John Radigan, I'm going to move him to practice squad. And I'm going to do the same. And I'm going to do the same thing with Drake Thomas. Cornerbacks. Already Burns. I don't think I really want to do anything. Yeah, and it says really they don't recommend cutting any of these guys. Jarek Reed. I'm going to move him to practice. I know that at least one of these guys is going to get snatched up, but it is what it is. Ty Okada. I'm moving him to practice as well. I could cut him, but I don't want to risk that. All right. Well, let's go back to the offensive line. Go back to right tackles. Stone Forsythe. I'm going to move him to practice squad. If he gets picked up, he gets picked up. Right now we have 2 right tackles because our starter is out for a little bit to start the season. So yeah, and we still have offers for Love. So let's see if these are probably the same offers. Yeah, they are. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the regular season because I don't think I want to trade Love just yet. Because let me actually see what Jamal Adams' contract situation is. I want to see how much, is his contract up, or is he still going to be here? Total, 2023, 2024, 2025. Okay. Well, he's set to be a free agent in 2026. Love is set to be a free agent in 2025. So obviously we could get value probably for Love, but none of those offers really appeal to me too much. So let's go ahead and simulate to the regular season and maybe see if there's even better offers out there. Maybe somebody went down during training camp and we can trade them away. Well, fortunately, it looks like none of our guys that we put on practice squad got snatched up, so that's good. Let's go ahead and import the draft class for 2024. And there's everybody. Yep, Caleb Williams, straight main, everybody. Could be a young quarterback situation, kind of like with yours and the Giants, or we could go after a big-name quarterback in free agency. We may try that with the first year and just see what we want to do. Okay, so let's look at some more trade offers for Love. If these are the same offers, a few of them are. A lot of them are still the same offers. We do need some right tackle help, but a 59 overall guy isn't going to do it for me. We have a lot of middle linebackers. We're pretty good there. But we could use some offensive line help. Runyon could definitely help us out with that. Could use some help at defensive end as well. Sweat looks like one of the best guys that we can get in return. And we do need some help on the defensive line. So you know what? We're going to accept the Philadelphia Eagles offer for Sweat, the 82 overall defensive end, and a 2025 fifth-round pick. That's a few seasons down the road. So I think that is going to be big for us, and that's going to help with our defensive line at least a little bit. Trade accepted. Okay, so let's take a look at the depth chart now. See what that makes everything look like, because we do need some defensive help. We do need a little bit more offensive line help than defensive line help, but when you got an opportunity to get somebody like Josh Sweat, that's game changing for you. And not only that, but Leonard Williams is going to be out for a few weeks, so getting Sweat in here is going to really help us out. So I'm good with rolling with that. We have Jason Peters in there, of course. We have Kelly. All right. So we're going to go with that. We're going with Sweat as our starting right defensive end. But we cannot. But I know that Williams is going to come back. But maybe keeping Sweat is going to help out for our defensive line for the future. An 82 overall guy, good guy with the Eagles, definitely will help us out. Okay, so here we go. First year of the rebuild, 2023 season. Let's simulate to the middle of the season and see where the Seattle Seahawks are at. This division, outside of the 49ers, I think is pretty up for grabs in terms of the second spot. I don't know how good the Rams are going to be in this first year of the rebuild, but it's really just going to be us against the Rams for the second place in the division, because the Cardinals in year one of this rebuild shouldn't really be doing too much. Because even if they have Kyler Murray, he's still only a 70 overall QB, so I don't expect too much from Arizona to be challenging for the division title, much less us for the spot 2 this season. But the 49ers are the team to beat in this division year in and year out, so that could make it pretty tough for us to make the playoffs even for the next few years, as long as the 49ers keep their group intact and they're not trading a bunch of guys and letting guys walk out the door. So we'll see how things kind of transpire for this first season. I'm not expecting too much from us in the first year. I mainly just want to see if Geno Smith is going to get up to the 80s. If not, then we may just have to consider moving on to a new quarterback, maybe in the draft or free agency, depending on which direction I want to go, at least for this first year. But I'm leaning towards maybe getting a real actual starter in here, somebody who has some better credentials, somebody who has the experience and, maybe he's even been to the playoffs, somebody like that. Well, we're not off to a bad start. We're 3-3. That's not great, not super duper good. Let's check out the injury report, because I don't know how much longer Williams is out. He may be off the report right now, but let's see. Oh man, we have a bunch of nicked up guys. Okay, well, Williams is back, so Sweat can probably just go to the other defensive end spot. We have Lockett injured. We have Lewis injured. Lucas is hurt. Kobe Bryant's also hurt. But these guys are only out for 1 week, so they're just going to miss this next game that we have on the schedule, which is fine. We don't have any serious injuries, and the Browns are 0-6. Wow, well, I don't want to lose to a team that hasn't won a game this season. That'd be embarrassing. So let's see whose contracts are up. We only have oh my goodness, we only have $2.4 million to spend. We got no room at all. Oh my goodness, wow, we're in salary cap hell. Oh boy, I did not realize that the Seattle Seahawks were in this much cap hell. Oh my goodness. Well, Bobby Wagner is a staple, but he's going to have to be let go. Kelly was a one-year rental. This is why we traded for Josh Sweat also. Leonard Williams, God, but I want to keep Jordan Brooks, though. Oh, my goodness. Wow, this rebuild may be tough. We're going to be losing pretty much everybody this offseason based on the lack of cap space that we have. Wow. Let me just see what Jordan Brooks, this is all of our cap space. You don't have enough room. We don't have enough room to make this trade or make this move. Wow. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to punt negotiations until the end of the season, because right now we have no cap room to do anything. We have $2.4 million. That is it. Gosh, we have so many guys eating up a whole bunch of cap space. We're going to have to probably cut some guys as far as cap casualties this offseason. Hopefully we don't get too many penalties for that. Wow, that's a little bit disheartening. Okay, hey, it is what it is for the first year. Let's just go week by week and see what happens with 2023. This offseason may be pretty tough. We have basically no wiggle room right now. Now, we'll probably get some more when some guys leave, and we gave the Browns their first win of the season. Is this where everything goes downhill? Is this where we completely fall out of playoff contention? Because something tells me it's leaning in that direction. I don't know. Wow, so much cap space being eaten up. I assume by guys like Jamal Adams and more of these guys. So That's not good for us. We play a 6-2 Ravens team this week. This is going to be a tough matchup. Well, hopefully we get at least a couple more wins. If we're not a playoff team, I'll be playing the last game of the regular season for sure. We lost to the Ravens by 11. We're kind of falling out of playoff contention pretty quickly here. Under 500 right now. We have to turn things around. That's what I expected, but just kind of kick the guys in the butt a little bit, as far as the owner is concerned. And I made the owner Matt Hasselback. The 1-8 Commanders. We lost to a winless team. Hopefully we don't do the same to the Commanders. That would be embarrassing to lose to two sorry teams. And that's just what we did. Wow. I want to look at some statistics here, guys. I want to see kind of what we're looking like in terms of what are stats looking like for us right now. I just want to look at the quarterback play because at this point I'm almost tempted to bench Geno Smith and put in Drew Lock just to see what he can do. Well, Lock has barely played. Smith, 12 touchdowns, 6 picks. Running game, Walker not even close to 1,000 yards, only 5 rushing TDs. Receiving-wise, we're mid. 600, 500 for Lockett, 3 for Lockett, 4 for Metcalf. Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep Geno Smith in there for a few more weeks, but if we continue to lose, we're just going to put Drew Lock in and see what he can do. Because at this point, I think nobody is safe from being off this team, in my opinion. Well, let's upgrade some of our players. It looks like, fortunately, Smith-Njigba is developing decently in his rookie season, so that's promising. Because we may have to make some decisions on Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, because we have no money to spend right now, and there are some players that I do want to re-sign and bring back. So we're just going to have to let all these guys, I think, hit free agency, and we're going to have to see what players we can even get in the offseason at all. And we're probably just going to have to do bargain basement shopping in order to fill gaps and just really rebuild through the draft. So we'll see what we want to do in terms of that. So anyway, we're playing the 4-5 Rams this week. They are second place in our division. We're third in the NFC West right now. We need a divisional win. That'd be nice. And we don't. I think we've lost 4 games in a row now. Well, I think the time is right with losing 4 in a row and being on the slide. I think it's time for a quarterback change. We're going to put Drew Lock in the rest of this season, and we're just going to see what he can do. He's younger. I know his overall is not as good as Geno's, but I think it's time to make this move and time to see what Lock can do. Now, Lock is on a contract year. He's on the last year of his deal that we got in the trade from the Broncos several years back. But at this point, I think we just got to see what Lock can do. He is a 65 overall. I don't really think that's making things worse. This may be sort of a tank year, kind of in a way, to a certain extent. But I just want to see what Drew Lock can do. And what better time to put him in than against the vaunted 49ers? Is Drew Lock going to pull an all-time upset? Nope, no way. You can call it a tank, you can call it whatever you want, but right now we're just evaluating talent for next season because at this point we're probably going to be losing some decent players and we need to create some more cap space. We've lost 5 games. I think we've lost 4 in a row now, or 5 in a row. 5 in a row. We've lost 5 games in a row. And we have tough games the back half of the season. 7-4 Dallas. Let's just keep advancing through the season and see what happens. We lost by 28 points. Our offense is barely putting up a fight, even with Drew Lock in there at quarterback. I'm going to go ahead and look at stats and see how he's been doing in these first few games that he started. So he started 2 games for us so far this season. And let's see how he's been performing. Well, he started for 330 yards, He has 2 TDs to 3 interceptions. Geno was, I guess, playing, if you're going, from dumpster fire to a dumpster that isn't on fire. That's a bad term. Geno was playing better, but at this point, we're just kind of evaluating talent for next year and just trying to see what Drew Lock is capable of doing. See if he is possibly a future starter for us or if he will not be. So we play the 49ers for the second time in 3 games, and of course we lost again, but we put up a better fight than the last game, which was Lock's first start. So upward progress slightly, not much, but just a little bit, I suppose. Offensively, we just need to get some weapons at quarterback and running back outside of our good, solid receivers and guys like Metcalf and Lockett. I think that's really just what we need on offense. And offensive line needs upgrades. This could be actually more of a rebuild than some of the other rebuilds that I've done. It may take longer with this one. I'm not sure, but we'll see how things go. I mean, this first off season is going to be pretty tough because unless things have changed with our salary cap situation, no, it hasn't. We're still at $2.4 million to work with right now, and that's nothing. So we can't do anything as far as retaining our own players right now. It's just like the Cowboys in real life. They got no wiggle room. That's why they haven't done anything. And we may have an off season of pretty much nothing except the draft, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see. And it doesn't get any easier. Fortunately, right now, we're not at the bottom of the division. That's the Cardinals, but we're 3-10. They're 3-10. I think we played them last game of the regular season, so that could be a battle for the third place in the division, which would be an embarrassing kind of situation. But that's what we're looking like right now. 7-6 Eagles this week. We've lost 7 games in a row, and with Drew Lock still in there at quarterback, I don't really see too much. An 18-point defeat. Things aren't looking pretty good. Call this a tanky or whatever you want. Geno wasn't playing well. I thought maybe bringing in Lock would change some things up. I think I'm still going to rock with him the rest of the season because just want to see what he can do. Geno had a bounce back year the previous year, but this year is a season that's gone into the drain, and I don't think he's the answer. I think we have to look at a new quarterback. So I think this has to be a record of futility in Seattle Seahawks history. We've lost 9 consecutive games, and the losing is just getting crazy. And we only lost by 4 to the Titans, but still. All right, 2 games left. 9-6 Steelers this week. We are unfortunately now at the bottom of the NFC West, so nothing really positive going here. And we tied with the Steelers. I've never had a rebuild and had a team get a tie before. That is a new feature that I haven't seen. Well, this is the final game of our season going against the Arizona Cardinals. We are going to still rock with Drew, and we're going to see what he can do against the Cardinals in our final game of the regular season. If we win this game, I don't even think we're going to have a chance to get to third place in the NFC West, but it is what it is. So we're just going to have to rock with it. The biggest question that I have is this Pete Carroll's final game as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, or does he stay for one more season? We'll see. Feeling in my gut is that he'll retire, and I'm pretty sure that Bobby Wagner will retire as well. His contract is up, but I think he's going to retire anyway. It's really unfortunate that I think Jordan Brooks is just going to have to, hit the free agent market. We can still try to get him back, but we're going to have to make some moves as far as trades or cap casualty releases just to get some room to sign him. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll focus on that after we get done with our season, as we play the Arizona Cardinals on the road in our final regular season game of 2023. See what Drew Lock can do. He hasn't done very well. He hasn't won a game this year as a starter. And we've lost 10 consecutive games, I believe. And, we're just looking to get something going. Drew Lock is still in there as the starter, so we'll see what we can do. All right.
It's the
tough season, but we're out here to play football.
Of the Seattle Seahawks. Let's get to it. Lock going to throw.
All right.
First play.
Jigba, rookie out of Ohio State, makes the first catch over the middle for a nice first down. Let's get this offense going. Which hasn't been, very effective all season with Lock at the helm, but that's what we're trying to see what he can do. Like I said, this is kind of a tanking job, but we're still going to go out here and we're still going to compete.
It's Kenneth Walker, and he can only
Walker
manage
only
to get
gets
a couple.
2 yards on the play.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Let's go slants.
Here's Lock.
Throw it. There we go. Jigba again. First down. Nice job, Rook.
He's inside the 40.
Hopefully he can develop into a bona fide superstar for us as far as receivers.
They'll toss this
Good
out
blocks.
to Walker.
Get those blocks for me. There you go. And Walker gets us another first down. All right, so we're moving the ball pretty well on this opening drive, which is just what we needed and what Lock needed to finally get his confidence and try to find a way to get that one elusive victory that hasn't hit him this season.
Lock now on first down.
Come on, DK. And DK can't hold on to the football.
Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Arizona.
Tight end making the catch. Gets a decent gain of about 4.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Drives kind of
this defense for the Cardinals, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Lockett with a big catch for a first on 3rd down. Let's go. Sets up 1st and goal. Nice job. Right, let's go with the inside zone. Let's punch this in with Walker. Come on, Walker. Walker powers his way in, and we've got the first touchdown of the game. Nice job, Kenneth. Offense back out there. We got another 1st and goal situation here. Let's take advantage here.
Around the 8-yard line. To throw it is Lock.
Come on, DK. DK with the catch down to the 1. Almost thought he could reach the ball across the plane. He didn't quite get it there. We're actually going to keep passing. We're going to be a little risky here. We're going to go with the stick.
What you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside. Make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run
Oh,
the route.
man, we get sacked, of course.
Just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. John Kaminsky in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Like I mentioned, this offensive line definitely is going to need some work. No question about it.
Lock now on 3rd and goal.
Pressure came right at me.
Says this will be incomplete.
It's 4th
Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's
let's kick the field goal with Myers. On 10. Nice job, Myers. 10-0. Baby steps for this franchise. One day we'll get better. It's all about just rebuilding. Nothing. We're on the move again on offense. We're down in the 2nd quarter. Good on our defense for getting us the ball back with chances to keep scoring here. We're doing pretty good. I really want to get DK more involved here.
They'll wind up getting just a yard.
I don't know why I called timeout. I thought there was like 12 seconds.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Best
throwing now is Lock.
Come on, DK. Sideline grab. All right, now we're just 4 yards away from a first.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Lock.
Here's Lock to throw.
In the middle, Lock to Lockett for the first down.
And the Seahawks are going to have first and goal as they
Lockett's made a couple of big catches to keep drives alive, so he's been pretty critical today.
In motion right, that's Metcalf.
In motion. Walker goes nowhere.
I
really don't want to walk away with only 3
It's a loss of 2 there,
really
bringing up
pressure on Arizona. Really feel like getting 7 here matters a little bit more.
Now Lock.
Throw it over the middle. Lock hit touchdown. First touchdown pass of the game for Drew Lock. Let's go. Nice throw. Nice job. The Cardinals finally get on the board. They're only down 10 now.
Second quarter,
almost at the 2-minute warning, but we got a chance to go down the field and get something going.
Trying to get the ball back to their offense.
We're going to test Drew Lock's arm. And how do you drop that, dude? You had it. Come on, man. You got to catch those balls. That was a big one. Now it's 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit.
57 yards. Can Myers make this? Oh, and he does, no problem. Wow, what a kick by Myers. So far, he's been probably our offense for most of this game. It is what it is, though. Alrighty, then.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
We still got a chance to redeem ourselves with another 2 points, with another 2-minute drill.
From the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Catch, first down, let's go. Get the drive moving, get those chains moving, come on. Oh my gosh, did he really do that?
And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
Drew, come on, man. Cardinals get the score before the half.
Just inside of a minute here remaining in the first half, so the clock is becoming a factor. The offense has the football on their own side of the field. And here's a leaping catch. He pulled it in. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He lets it fly for Lockett.
And it's intercepted, of course. Lockett couldn't get up there. That was a bad placement by me. Alright, we're on defense for the first time. Cardinals got a chance to actually take the lead here because we've given them the opportunities. Lock hasn't really played the best. Hasn't really played this game that great. But then again, I can't expect too much from a 65 overall quarterback. And it's a touchdown for Brown. Cardinals, the extra point. We're going to take the lead on this. All right, 2nd down and 6. You can still do this. This ain't it yet.
Inside the red zone, 2nd down and 6. And this one's incomplete.
Guys,
I'm a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lock.
Oh, Smith and Jigba, first down, touchdown, let's go. Back on top, just what we needed. And Drew Lock getting some of his confidence back, throwing a clutch touchdown. Nice job. But we missed the extra point. Good Lord.
Time for this defense to try and stiffen as they'll try here to defend a 1st and 10 situation at their own 17-yard line.
Sack Kyler Murray. Let's go, D. Way to go. Just what we needed. Reed getting in there with the sack to end the quarter. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. We are up by 5 in our final game. Still got a chance to win this one, but defense, they had a big sack. Now we need another one. Just a big play in general. Guys, get off your blocks. Okay, good. Only gained 3 yards. They still have a little ways to go. Only allowed 57 yards today. We're ranked 28th overall in the league, which isn't good for obvious reasons. Today they played well. They played better.
This is third down.
Cardinals offense, though, is starting to get a little bit of juice. So we have to make plays to stop them. I don't know why they decided to run a reverse like that. Now it's like 4th down, and they're just going to have to go for the field goal. I mean, I know of conservative, but that's too conservative in this situation. If I'm Arizona, I don't know why you would do that call. But they do kick a field goal, so they narrow the gap, and I think we're only up by 2 points now. So we still have a little bit of pressure on us to keep this lead and preserve the clock.
In need of a big stop in
it's maybe a bit of a gamble, but I'm going to go with a running play.
See if they can get that stop they need. And they'll run on
power forward, first down, just what we need. Got to bleed some more of that clock. Sharpen 8 coming in and getting the first down for us. Big job there.
Ball in the red zone here.
Second and 2.
Situation. 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Walker.
Oh, Walker got smacked. What's the flag for? Please don't be on us. Please don't be on us. And of course it is. Holding on the offense. On our fullback.
He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead he gets a hole.
10,
and you don't see that very often on running.
Still feel like we have to keep throwing.
Because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was kind of my own fault. I didn't really know exactly where I wanted to go with that football.
No need
2 guys kind of in that spot.
High percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Post. One-hander by Jackson. What a play. Nice catch. Njigba has been that guy all game long. He's had a phenomenal outing. Beautiful. We're gonna get a little bit conservative here. We're gonna run it. We're gonna jet sweep and Njigba with a rushing touchdown to give us a bigger cushion. Perfect. Up by 9 in the closing seconds, and we win by 9. Beat the Cardinals in our final regular season game. We're going to finish the season 4-11.
I thought this defense just didn't have an answer for him all game long. They tried to change things up, but he was always one step ahead. And he finished with over 300 yards passing,
or maybe like
and 2 touchdown passes as well.
I don't know what our record is. All I know is it's not good. I think it's only our 4th win of the season.
Win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. That'll do it for us.
Well, overall, Drew Lock didn't really play very, very well. I don't really think he's the future. And then again, based on our cap situation, we don't really have any money to sign him anyway. I mean, I'll let you guys take a look at the stats. I mean, Lock just played okay. He had a rating of a 111.1, which isn't too bad. 324 yards. 2 TDs, 1 pick, but he had that fumble that really let Arizona back in the game. That was not good. So, just wanted to see wanted to do the Drew Lock experiment for the second half of the season. I'm not going to say it was really fully a tank season, but in a way I feel like we kind of laid it up a little bit. But I just wanted to see what he could do because Geno lost 4 in a row, and I feel like that no job in the NFL is completely settled. But one of the biggest takeaways from this game that at least I took away is that Jackson Smith-Njigba, that man right there, is the future of our offense. He had a phenomenal game, and I definitely am excited to see what he can do with the future with the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going to be very, very excited about that. So I see the Phil staff thing is open. So yep, it looks like that Pete Carroll has retired. So Pete Carroll coached his final NFL game, and fortunately for him, it was a win. So that is what it is. Let's go ahead and view the playoff bracket. We've got the Ravens and the Steelers. We got the Titans and the Bengals, Chiefs and the Jets. Bills have the number 1 seed. 49ers have the number 1 seed. It's Cowboys, Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Bears, Rams. So that is what the playoffs are looking like for 2023, first year of this rebuild. And, of course, we do have to hire a new head coach. But first things first, I want to see what staff head coaches have been let go so far. I'm okay with keeping our coordinators. Yep, Pete Carroll retired. You can see it right there. Pete Carroll retired. and we have to replace him. So I just want to see who got fired and who is even available out there on the market. So Rivera got fired. I don't know, though. Right now, I don't really know who I want as our new head coach. I think I need to do this right now because it'll automatically hire a coach for me if I don't do it myself. So let's take a look and see who is out here. So Ron Rivera, Kevin O'Connell, Kevin Stefanski are out here. This guy, Gerald Simmons, is the fake Antonio Pierce, just letting y'all know that. So, you know, I want to hire a coach that's actually a coach. So here's what I'm thinking. Our offense really needs a bit of a jolt. So I'm going to bring in Kevin O'Connell as our new head coach. Hopefully we can get this quarterback situation rectified. Scott Jackson, our defensive coordinator, looks pretty good. So hopefully getting Kevin O'Connell in here will bring a spark to our offense, to us offensively, because we need to get this quarterback situation figured out, and we also need to figure out what we're going to do with really our running back situation. Because in my opinion, we could do better than having somebody like Kenneth Walker. We got to get somebody in here who's really a better running back than him, in my opinion. That's kind of the way that I'm thinking. But in the meantime, we got Kevin O'Connell as our new head coach. He was fired by the Vikings, and we're going to hire him as our head coach. Young guy replacing an old veteran in Pete Carroll, who's retiring and off into the sunset. So that's what we're going with. All right, well, let's advance through the playoffs and see who comes out on top. We'll check out yearly awards, see if any Seahawks were up for any awards. I doubt it. Maybe Najigba was in the running for Rookie of the Year, but I don't know. We'll see kind of what happens. First things first, let's check out the playoff bracket. So the Ravens beat the Steelers, the Bengals beat the Titans, and the Jets beat the Chiefs. So in the AFC, outside of the Baltimore Ravens, the other teams upset the higher seeds. So it's Bills, Bengals, Ravens, Jets. NFC, Cowboys blow past the Falcons. Lions obliterate the Panthers at home. Wow, that is a bad loss by Carolina. And the Bears beat the Rams. So it's Bears, Cowboys, Lions, and the 49ers. Very similar to the NFC Championship game. It's just one round earlier. And we'll see what happens in the divisional round. So actually, I want to go ahead and use those 18 points because I feel like we can at least put them to our coordinators. Let's see if we can do anything with our OC. All right, let's do the island thing. And let's do film junkies as well. All right, so now we've upgraded our offensive coordinator a little bit, Mac Williams. Give him some more points, hopefully help him with, quarterback development, but we'll see. All right. Let's get to the conference championship week, and we'll see what happens here. All right. Let's view the playoff bracket, and let's see who's playing in the conference championship games. Bills beat the Bengals, and the Ravens beat the Jets. So the AFC pretty much has been taking care of business. So it's the two high seeds in the AFC, the Bills taking on the Ravens, and in the NFC side, Bears go on the road and beat the Cowboys, and the 49ers, just like in real life in the NFC Championship, beat the Lions, but by a slim margin. So it's 49ers, Bears in the NFC Championship. I did not expect that. Because normally the Bears don't really get to the postseason in the first year of the rebuild, so that's a little bit surprising. Now time to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Is it going to be... And it's the 49ers against the Ravens. So it is a rematch of Super Bowl 47 in 2012. Not a battle of the Harbaugh brothers, but still, it's Ravens against the 49ers, which is the Super Bowl matchup that I thought we would probably get this season in real life, but it didn't happen. And it was the Ravens upsetting the Bills on the road, and the 49ers beat the Bears pretty easily, so that's how the Ravens and 49ers Super Bowl was created. For the second time in a decade. Well, decade plus, I should say. Let's check out the Pro Bowl roster and see if any of our Seattle Seahawks made it. No quarterbacks, no running backs, no fullbacks either. No tight ends. What about offensive line? Probably no offensive line. We don't have a very good offensive line. No, that's not our Sweat. That's a different Sweat that I think plays for the Commanders. So yeah, that's not the guy that we traded for from the Eagles. No linebackers. Well, Jamal Adams made it, so our starting strong safety made it, had a Pro Bowl season. You know, Jamal really is possibly going to have to be the face of our defense. So with Jamal, you know, I know in real life the Seahawks got rid of him because he's underachieved based on what he wants to be paid. But it's a different world. It may be a deal where Jamal Adams is the guy that we just have to, you know, rally our defense around, and we just need to kind of build around him as long as he's going to play, because he's going to be on the books for another few years of the cap. So, you know, he signed that massive deal, and I think we're just going to have to keep him on it. So let's get to Super Bowl week, see who wins between the Ravens and the Niners, and then we'll get to the offseason and get going. All right, let's check out, I don't know why I said view playoff bracket. I didn't want to do that. Let's go to the yearly awards. Let's see if maybe, possibly, Jackson Smith-Njigba was up for Rookie of the Year. I don't really know. MVP goes to Josh Allen. Coach of the Year is Robert Saleh. All right, well, good for him. All right, NFC, Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. No Seahawks in sight, of course, Defensive Player of the Year. No Seahawks here either. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jackson Smith-Njigba came in 6th. Not really in the running. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no Seahawks here. Best QB, no sign of Geno or Locke. Best running back, Kenneth Walker finished 10th. Best receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba didn't even crack top 10 in terms of receivers in the whole conference. Offensive Lineman of the Year, no Seahawks. Best defensive lineman, nobody there either. Best linebacker, nobody there either. Not even best DB. Really? No Jamal Adams? Best kicker. Jason Myers finished 2nd, so he was the closest guy of all of us that came to getting any sort of award at the end of the season. So not a whole lot of accolades going around for the Seahawks in the first year, but hey, I'm not expecting too much anyway. All right, let's see who wins the Super Bowl. Is it the 49ers or the Ravens? Who's going to win it? And it is going to be the 49ers. So the 49ers finally got over the hump, and they finally win their 6th Super Bowl championship. The MVP was Fred Warner. MVP of the whole league was Josh Allen, Robert Saleh. Offensive Player of the Year is Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year is actually Micah Parsons of the Cowboys. So unlike the last set of rebuilds, it's not Max Crosby, who always kept winning it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Rashee Rice of the Chiefs. And Byron Young, linebacker of the Rams, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Alrighty then. Well, the team that is the main character in our division won a Super Bowl. So now, kind of like the Giants rebuild, we're comparing ourselves to those guys for the rest of this rebuild. That's the team that we're trying to get as good or nearly as good as in order to try to lead this Seattle Seahawks team to eventually a Super Bowl championship. But we still have a long way to go before we can even think about something like that. All right, well, let's go ahead and advance to the offseason. I want to see who retires. My guess is that Bobby Wagner and Jason Peters are probably going to be 2 guys that retire. Other than that, I don't know if we'll have any other retirements than those 2 guys for sure, but we will see. And who knows, Bobby Wagner might not retire. I'm not really 100% sure. Let's check out retirements. Let's see who all retired. So normally it's the same group of people, Seahawks. So Dennis Kelly, who we signed as a stopgap guy, he retired, and so did Jason Peters. And Bobby Wagner actually did not retire. All right, I'm a little bit surprised, but Jason Peters, I'm not surprised he retired. And, of course, Pete Carroll retired. But we already knew that, and that's why we hired Kevin O'Connell as our new head coach. Hopefully, hiring O'Connell will help bring a boost to this offense, because this offense is in need of a lot of juice and a lot of help in order to do it. So we're going to actually bypass the final chance to negotiate with players, and we're going to advance to free agency and the offseason and see how much room in terms of cap that we even have available to do anything, and we got to see what holes that we have to fill for this team. All right. Well, let me check out the signed free agent pool to see what funds we even have left. We are over the cap. We have no money to spend, and that is just not going to make me feel good at all. All right, so let's take a look at the team's salaries and see if we can cut somebody, because we're going to have to do a cap casualty, I think, right now. We're going to have to. So Josh Sweat actually is somebody who's going to be on the docket for the next year. But he's a guy that we just traded for, and Leonard Harris is not here anymore. So penalty. There's a bunch of guys that are probably on the practice squad. This guy, receiver, Bobo. Yeah, we just got to create some cap, dude. You got to get out of here. I don't know how much cap space that we're going to free up by doing all of this stuff, but I have to imagine that at this point we got to do whatever we can do. Zach Charbonnet. Can we cut him and not get any cap penalties? We'll free 0, but incur a penalty. Okay, so we're not doing that. We're not going to cut Charbonnet because of that. All right, let's go just position by position. Geno Smith is right now the only quarterback on our roster because Drew Lock, we just couldn't. Jake Funk, what a name. But I'm sorry, dude. Just because you have a great name, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to stay on this team, because we have to free up some cap space. All right. So we'll get a penalty by cutting Charbonnet, so we can't do that. But Derek Young is a receiver that we're just going to have to release. Going to have a lot of holes to fill this offseason, but we got to get under the cap somehow, some way. And we may have to do a trade. Brady Russell, our backup tight end, is the only backup tight end that we have. But we're going to release him. It's not freeing up a whole lot of cap space, but we got to do something. So tight end depth is an issue because Will Dissly is our only tight end right now on the roster. Our starter isn't here anymore. Offensive lineman depth is something that I don't like dealing with a whole lot. We have no right guards, so we need to sign at least a right guard this offseason. Jones, still have Josh Sweat, of course. Jeffrey Gunter, though, is somebody that we're just going to have to cut for some relief. 420K. Can't really do anything with our defensive tackles. Hardy, we can cut him and get some type of room. Not much, but we're going to have to do it. He's wearing number 12, too. You can't wear 12 if you're a Seattle Seahawks player. Our linebacking core is just in shambles right now. Our top-rated guy is a 65 overall. Nwosu. There's no guarantee that we're even going to be able to bring back possibly Jordan Brooks or anybody. Jarek Reed. Yeah, he's somebody that we're just going to have to get rid of. All right, let's go to strong safeties. We're going to have a big penalty if we get rid of Adams. All right. Well, those are the best. Those are the small cap casualties that I've been able to do so far. But I don't know how much space this has freed up. I bet it hasn't freed up barely anything. Are we under the cap at least? Okay, so we are. So we got $4.36 million to work with. Okay, well now let's just go bargain basement shopping for maybe 1, 2 players and see if we can do anything at all. Okay, well, we can't get cream of the crop as far as anything. So as far as quarterback, we're going to have to look at the draft for that. And because we're one of the worst teams in the league, we're probably going to have a high pick. So we're going quarterback in the first round. No question about it. Running back is actually not looking too bad. It's looking okay. We still have our fullback. We could use some help at receiver, but you know what? We're just going to have to probably rock with who we have. Tight end, Disley is not that bad of a tight end. What's a position that we don't have any of? Oh, it was right guard. Yeah, it was right guard. Sorry, guys. There was somebody that was commenting some bad stuff. Yeah, right guard is the position that we need to fill. We have so many positions that we need to fill. All right. Well, let's just go out and get a right guard. That's what we're going to do. At least for right now. We're going to go out and get a right guard. Okay. See if any of these guys are actually low tier and are scheme fit guys. Probably not much of anybody. Let's see. Who's the top right guard? John Runyon. I assume he's related to maybe the big John Runyon. 2.8 million. We don't have the money to make this offer. Of course we don't. Got to go lower than that. Mayfield. 1-year deal, 1.6. I think that's... We just needed a right guard. We just didn't have one on the roster. Nobody else is offering Mayfield anything, so we're probably going to be able to get him. So we're going to go... We're really going to have to probably just go with him, and then just, you know, other positions. Let's just see what other positions we might need to just have at least a backup at that maybe we won't be able to spend as much like in the draft on. Let's just see here. All right, you know what? I think we just got to make a trade. Honestly, I am strongly considering that maybe we could trade Tyler Lockett for something. And maybe we can free up some cap space by doing so. That may be a terrible idea, but you know what? Smith-Njigba is coming on, and we have DK Metcalf. And we got to free up some room here. We got to free up some room. So Tyler Lockett, one of our best receivers, best players on the team, is on the block. So what teams are not in cap hell like us that also could use a receiver? Maybe the Chargers. And I just want picks. I mean, seriously, all I want is draft picks. I'll try first rounder. Let's see what this does. put the other team over the salary cap if accepted. Okay, so the Chargers can't do that. Commanders have a lot of cap space, surprisingly. I don't think they're going to give us the 3rd overall pick. Trade decline. We don't feel it meets enough. Okay, that's okay. What about a 2nd rounder from you guys? What about a 2nd round pick for Lockett? All right. Tyler Lockett, I'm sorry, man, but we needed to create some cap room big time. Didn't do a whole lot, but we just had to do a move, guys. We had to create some cap space because we're in cap hell right now, and we can't do anything at all. So that makes our receiver room very thin. At literally only 3 receivers on the roster. But Jackson Smith and Jigba is coming up, and we have DK Metcalf still here. So let's go back to the free agent pool and see if that clears up any cap space where we can actually maybe sign some help. Let's see what we can do. Well, that puts us now at $6.03 million, so that's that's okay. We probably can't get any quarterbacks anyway, so yeah, we're gonna have to go with a rookie quarterback. There's no other way that we can do it. But as far as receivers, let's see if we can get a low tier receiver, somebody that we just really need help with for depth reasons. I'm gonna go even lower than that. Chenault Jr. Team friendly. Let's go with a team friendly deal. 2 years. I don't even know where this is going to put us, but let's see if it even puts us in the running for this guy. And already that's like $4 million. So, all right. Well, we're his only offer, so we'll probably be able to get him as a replacement for Lockett. I know that's not really anything too big, but we just need 4 receivers. Okay, so let me take a look at the rest of our roster and see what we can do. Let me actually take a look and see if maybe we could also consider trading away another top-tier player. I know that it's not ideal to be in this situation, of course, but Adams is making a lot of money. What other position could we try to at least get one of for... I mean, let me take a better look at the roster here. Tackle. Well, we already have an offer for a right guard. Could probably look for that in the draft as well. Left end, we could use one. Linebacking core. We have 2 of all of the linebackers. We only have 3 corners. So, okay, so let's go and get see if we can go get a left defensive end. Maybe a corner. A low tier. And I'm talking about a low tier, like, let's get down to like the 60s. Because I feel like that these guys are just flat out not getting any offers. We're going to have to go pretty low for depth. Mike Ford. Team friendly. All right, we just barely had enough money to make that offer. And now we only have $50K left. Okay, well, I think, unfortunately, that's the best that we're going to be able to do. So these are our targets for free agency, and this is it. Only 3 guys. Laviska Shenault Jr., receiver, Mike Ford, cornerback, and Jalen Mayfield, right guard. And that's the best that we're going to be able to do for free agency because we have no money at all. So everything else has got to come from the draft, and every single position is on the table in terms of what we're going to be looking for. So hopefully we'll be able to find something. But we got to start with the quarterback because we weren't able to do anything in free agency in terms of quarterbacks for this offseason. So let's see if we were able to sign any of the guys that we targeted so far in the first wave. Let's see. Let me see here. Signed. No, my signings. So Mayfield so far is the only guy that is signed. And these guys are considering our offers, but they haven't signed yet. If they're waiting for more offers, I don't really think there's going to be anything really big coming their way. So hopefully they do sign. All right. Let's advance to next week, next stage of the free agency period. Let's see what we've got. All right. Let's see here. All right, we got everybody. Got Chenault, new receiver, Mike Ford, new corner, and our new right guard, Jalen Mayfield. So, bargain basement shopping, that's all we got. That's the best that we can do. All right, so let's advance to the rest of free agency. Let's take a look at the final mock draft and see what they have us projected to do. Hopefully they have us projected to take a quarterback because, hey, at the record that we had, we got to be at least in the top 10 in terms of picks in the first round. I would have to imagine. Finishing 4-12-1. So staff. All right, mock draft 5. What do they have us projected to do, and what pick do we have? We have the 4th pick, and they're projecting us to take Drake May. Not surprised, and you know what? I think that might have to be it. I don't see Caleb Williams slipping, and we're going to firmly make Drake May the new face of our franchise. We're going to make him our new starting quarterback, and we're going to rock with him. Just like I did in the Cowboys rebuild, the only difference is that we're going to go with him in a different rebuild with a team. So we're going to go with Drake May probably as our first-round pick. Unless somebody else takes him. But I don't think any of those other teams are really in the running for a quarterback outside of the Giants. So we're going to go with Drake May. Start the draft. All right, here we go.
The Minnesota Vikings, now on the clock.
All right, here we go. Is Drake May still there? And there he is. Drake May, the new face of the Seattle Seahawks. Welcome to Seattle, son.
Next up,
I mean, we still have Geno Smith, but at this point, Geno Smith is our backup quarterback. He is not a starter. The Drake May era is underway in Seattle. Second round pick. We have 2 second rounders because of the trade that we did with the Commanders, giving them Lockett. All right, so every position is really on the board. I could go Blake Corum and get some running back help, but I don't think we really need that because we do have Kenneth Walker. So, So I'm actually going to go a little bit risky here. I'm going to go with Jonah Moem out of USC, right tackle. He fits our scheme as well, and we need some right tackle help. We need, offensive line help. So we're going to do that. And we have another second-round pick. All right. It's a pick right after that. So you know what? Because of that, we're going to get a backup running back in Blake Corum out of Michigan. Going to get some running back help. Big time get for us in the second round.
Seattle Seahawks.
We are definitely in rebuilding mode, 100%. Was thinking about maybe going with a more skill position that we need, but you know what? We do need some running back help in the end. And Kamari Lassiter, corner. We did sign a new corner, but we're looking to get, help there. But we also really need a tight end. So I'm going to go with Cade Stover out of Ohio State. We need a backup tight end. We're going to go with Cade.
The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock.
All right. All right. Here in the third round, Mario Williams keeps slipping. If he slips more, we may take him in the next round. But so is Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia, corner. He's slipping as well. So is Cowing. But we still need some more offensive line help. So you know what? We're actually going to go with KT Leviston out of Kansas State. We need offensive line help just as much. So we're going to go with him.
The Seahawks on the clock.
All right. 4th round pick. A lot of receivers are still on the board. And I know I'm getting popular with the offensive line, but we need help really everywhere. So we're actually going to go with Drake Nugent out of Michigan. Get a center in here. Brand new center. All right, we've really gone a lot on offense. We need to get some defense. So for the last few rounds, that's what I'm thinking about doing. 5th round pick. Well, Frank Gore Jr. got selected by the Commanders. Good for him. What about, like, defensive ends? Grayson Murphy, I've selected him a bunch of times. I kind of don't want to, replicate things. Chris Jenkins of Michigan, that's another possibility, I guess. Braden McGregor out of Michigan. I know he's lower on the board. This may be a bit of a reach, but let's get a different defensive end, and let's get some defensive help. We need that. Braden McGregor, welcome to the Seattle Seahawks.
On the clock now, the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, 6th round pick, another one. Let's actually go, let me see here. What about linebackers? We need some left outside linebacker help. That may be too much of a reach. Those guys will probably still be available. Let's actually go with Nehemiah Pritchett, cornerback. Need some corner depth. Let's get a young corner in here. Let's go with Pritchett. 6th round pick. All right.
The Seattle Seahawks are
This is our last pick of the draft. And let's see what I want to do. I think I want to go defense with this one. I want to go defense. Corners, yeah, but you know what? Let's go out and get that linebacker that I was pretty intrigued by. Oh, actually, he's gone. Oh, well. What about this right outside linebacker, Kerry Coleman? Looks pretty solid. But what about left outside linebackers? All right, well, none of those guys fit our scheme. So we're going to go with Kerry Coleman out of Ole Miss. We're going with him with our 7th round selection. All righty. And that is it for our draft for the first year of the rebuild. Not really super duper exciting outside of getting the face of our franchise and quarterback Drake May. A lot of the picks I made were really just based on positions that we just need to strictly fill in the draft because, I mean, you know, we had no money to spend in free agency. So we had to do it all in the draft. Get all the replacements that we really needed. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here. So Drake May, 4th overall pick, new starting quarterback. Jonah Moem, a right tackle out of USC. We're probably going to be looking at him and being a starter right away, even for a second-round pick. Blake Corum is going to be hopefully forming a good 1-2 punch with Kenneth Walker in terms of running back, so we can get some more diversity there because we did release our one of our running backs in the offseason. We also drafted Cade Stover, our tight end. He's going to back up Drissy because we didn't need a backup tight end. And we drafted KT Levinston, left tackle out of Kansas State. Drake Nugent, center, because we need a center. Braden McGregor, left end out of Michigan, because we needed him as well. And we also drafted corner Pritchett, and we drafted Coleman, right outside linebacker, out of Ole Miss. So that is our 2024 NFL draft for the first year of the rebuild. Obviously, still a long way to go, but let's go ahead and take a look at adjusting the roster and see what changes we need to make, maybe in terms of positions, numbers, all of that stuff. All right, well, Drake May actually is right now considered to be the backup to Geno Smith, but that is not going to happen in the way I'm seeing it. Well, Blake Corum can still rock number 2. He actually is a backup behind Charbonnet, but who knows how much longer Charbonnet and Walker will be here. I'm not really sure about that, so, you know, wanted to get some insurance. Let's see. What is Cade Stover's college number? Cade Stover. You know, I like to give the players their name. All right. Well, I think we have a safety rocking 8, but I don't know who it is. I think it's like that Kobe Bryant guy. Kobe Bryant, you know, I know you're rocking 8 like the real Kobe, but we're going to change your number, sir. We're going to change it to 24. How about that? Okay. And Stover can wear his college number. So now we have a new backup tight end. Hopefully Stover will develop, and he'll get even better as the years go on. That's what I'm hoping for. Number 8. Left tackle, we got Charles Cross still here, but Levinston is our newest selection out of Kansas State. Let me see. KT Leviston. Okay, well, he can rock number 70, just like he's wearing right now. Left guard, we only have one left guard. We have 2 centers now. Drake Nugent, what is his number? 60, okay. All right, well, he's got his college numbers. So Drake Nugent is automatically going to be a starter for us. You know, Leviston is rated lower than Charles Cross, but, you know, Leviston is a guy that we expect to develop hopefully in a couple of years and be somebody that we could definitely use. I really went offensive line heavy in this draft, I know, but I feel like that's what I had to do. We didn't get any guards, so I'm probably going to have to move this guy to right guard in Force 3. I'm going to move him to guard. Hopefully he's not too super bad now because I did that, but he probably will be rated pretty low. Yeah, 64. But we just need guys over there. And O'Neal is a wild card, so we're going to basically make him a left guard as well. And then again, I'm just doing this so that way we have all of our positions as filled as best as we possibly can, because eventually we're going to get under the cap. We're going to be allowed to do some stuff, and it's going to be easier for us to make moves and do all that. Jalen Mayfield is going to be our starting right guard, even though he's 71 overall. Let me see. Jonah Monheim. 79. Okay, Who's 79? I know somebody's 79 on this offensive line. O'Neal. Yeah, you're gonna be you're gonna get a different number, my guy. Let's change his number. We're gonna rock 77. We're gonna give this guy his college number. Right now he's the backup right tackle, but I have a feeling that eventually he will be the starter. He'll develop, hopefully, decently, and he'll be able to take the reins as our starting left tackle, our right tackle, excuse me. All right, cool. Because we're really rebuilding this team young from the first off season. So I'm not sure if Braden McGregor's a real player. Let me see if he is. Oh, he is. Braden McGregor. Another Michigan man. Okay. Well, he actually wears 17, so I don't know about that. Let's see if we can actually make him wear 17. Unless somebody else has his number. Okay, well, Nwosu is wearing 10. Okay, well, he can wear 17. We don't have a receiver wearing 17, do we? No, we shouldn't. Yeah, Braden McGregor, another Michigan man. We took Nugent and him out of Michigan, so McGregor. Right now he is, behind Draymond Jones, only 65 overall, but hopefully he can develop and get a little bit better. Because right now, I love the fact that I actually made that Josh Sweat trade right now, because right now he's our best defensive lineman. Reed is still solid, and we have some young guys behind him. Linebacking core is butt cheeks. I mean, for real. We got a 66 middle linebacker, and Nwosu is our best linebacker at 76 overall. So we're really struggling with whatever we can get. And I think Coleman actually wore 23 at Ole Miss, so I'll let him keep his college number. No issues there. I really want Nwosu to wear a different number. And, maybe I'll change Drake May's number to something else. Well, maybe he can rock 13 for right now, and then we'll think of something else. Let's see. Oh, Nehemiah Pritchett. What is his college number? Nehemiah Pritchett. There he is. Number 1. Okay. We have a receiver wearing number 1, but I don't think he was anybody significant. Yeah, Eskridge. We'll give him a different number. I don't want to release him, but I just want to give him a different number. Let's see here. He can wear 15. That's a decent number. All right, and Pritchett can wear number 1. Well, now that Pritchett's wearing 1 instead of 3, maybe Drake May can wear number 3 for his first season. Hopefully Pritchett can develop. I mean, we really needed corner depth, and right now he's at the bottom. Mike Ford, who we signed really for depth reasons, was a cheap option. But Woolen is our best guy, and Witherspoon is solid too. So our cornerback room is actually not that bad. Our secondary is the best part of our roster. But everything else really needs an upgrade. Everything else is on the table in terms of needing to be fixed up. So I'm going to have Drake May actually wear number 3 for his rookie season. I'll probably change it to 10, maybe if Nwosu leaves, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep him rocking number 3. So right now we're going to go ahead and do that. He's going to wear number 3. All right. Well, that is our roster, and that is what things are looking like heading into year number 2, which is probably going to be, once again, another pretty tough season, if I'm being brutally honest, because we couldn't do anything in the offseason to upgrade any of our positions. The only thing we've really done is possibly find our quarterback in the future, and we've drafted a bunch of young guys on the offensive line that are going to be starters. But other than that, we still have a lot of work to do. So I'm fully expecting this second season to be a tough one. fully expecting it. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of the Seattle Seahawks rebuild. Next episode, of course, is going to be the 2024 season and the offseason as well. And we'll see what we can do with Seattle as we try to get them back to being a relevant football team, hopefully with Drake May as our starting quarterback. So in the meantime, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.